Welcome to Alaya, a place to connect. Vashatvayan Kishtavan Satniktasom Vanakyo Savinesakyo Da Vine Katu Shana Vila Krishnotu Ma Vanyakto Shatyavonta Karya Komba Chatni Kedjo Takana Kisha Niravrashtokan Vishvasukyatasa. We're making of reality. Most assume that reality is an absolute. But to break it down in the components, reality is the consequence of beliefs. The majority of beliefs create a reality in a certain way. But individuals often experience reality differently. So as we observe and watch and participate, we see the possibility, we see the foundation of reality. It's not absolute. Like I said, it's made up. So the beliefs in a deity creates the deity in that reality. But to others, that reality is not perceived as such. So we live in a fluidness, an ever-changing reality, and the majority of individuals that believe a certain way, that becomes the experience of reality. Again, not absolute. So we create a personal reality from our own experiences and realizations and connections. And the more expanded, the more unlimited, the more free you become, the reality you experience is different. Now, we live in a world that is created very much by fear, by control, by resistance. So you can imagine what kind of reality is being created by that. To recreate reality is a chance to recreate yourself in the image of consciousness. The consciousness is above all things and beyond all things, but within all things. To recognize that the body is the consciousness, the body is light. I've often said that the body is simply slowed down light. So what happens when we speed up? We become light. So the reality of this existence is very fluid. The reality that we experience is multidimensional because everyone has a different take on reality. If everyone in the whole world believed in a certain reality, it would become an absolute. But because the world is so divided, reality is fragmented, different pieces and parts here and there. If one's beliefs are strong, if you believe in a heaven, you create a heaven. And if you believe in a hell, you create a hell, which is often the foundation of religions. You be good, you go there, and you be bad, you go there. But is that the absolute reality? That is just kind of a way station between waking up to the absolute. The absolute is the very consciousness itself. And the consciousness itself slows down to create matter, which is creating life, which is creating a cosmos. I know that is hard to intellectually accept because it's so far away from the beliefs that we have been taught, the beliefs that we have been programmed with. And it is not an easy thing to break free of beliefs. They kind of stick to you. You have childhood beliefs that just cling, but those things limit you. So the object of all of this that I do is to free you from beliefs and with great effort not to create more beliefs because we don't want consciousness to become a belief. We don't want it to be a catch-all. We want it to be seen in the actuality of what it is. Pure, undivided light. Consciousness is the light. It is the light of everything. It is the energy of all things. It is the creator of all things. But it creates to experience. It creates through things that take place. It creates through you. So, in a way, you are contributing to the reality. And also, you can create an individual reality for yourself if you're strong enough. Because the beliefs and conditions around you are constantly overwhelming and controlling. But as we embrace our higher awareness, the consciousness, we begin to change our own personal reality. Where you stop believing in separation, where you stop believing in the other, you become free. When you stop believing in death, what might happen? That's a difficult one because we think everybody dies, everything dies. But what is that? What if we begin to realize that is simply letting go of the slowness of the material existence and it simply speeds up? But boy, that is hard for the reality of all of what life is. So we fabricate something being lost instead of realizing something has simply expanded beyond our senses for most parts. But after a while, you begin to realize there is no loss, there is nothing that dies, that is left. It simply accelerates, becoming light, the consciousness. Now, I know the teachings of the world are contrary or contradictory to that. But you know, that doesn't matter to me because of the experience I'm having, because of the knowing that takes place, because of the acceleration that takes place. The acceleration has transformed me from what I was, from a believing individual caught in systems and structures and beliefs. Freed me from those limitations. So now that I see life as it is, I see the possibility for humanity to transform, for it to accelerate, to become more of what is possible as consciousness. The consciousness is all that is. And as you recognize that individually, you begin to experience a different reality from those around you. For most individuals are stuck in their beliefs and concepts, which created their reality. So in a way, we have multidimensional realities in this world, but those are made up through beliefs and conditioning. Consistent reality holds great power to create, but it is not absolute. And if you know within yourself it's not absolute, you change the reality, the experience moment by moment. You become in charge of the reality around you. Now, the intellect says, well, sure. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, the moon comes out, the moon goes away. You breathe, light comes, dark comes. Yeah, that is the reality of this level of existence. But it is not absolute. I know that defies the intellect. The intellect sees things as solid, as absolute. But the intellect is simply taught. It is a program that has been given to you through the people around you. And you never really had the opportunity to say, I don't want that programming. I don't want that condition. I don't want that belief. I don't want to be limited by the slower vibration and frequency of a realm that is trapped in its own self. So most individuals are trapped in their own selves because of the conditioning they've experienced, because of the beliefs. And beliefs cause you to see things in a certain way. But to realize that's a belief, the way you see things begins to change. Instead of seeing the problem, you see a possibility. You realize you can transcend everything that takes place. Everything. That is not a limited transcendent. It is an absolute transcendence. And as you can allow yourself that ability within your own self to do that, you begin to see the world in a different light. You begin to experience others around you in a different light. They may not know what you're really seeing. They see only what the belief allows them to see. The intellect holds that, holds it as solid. It's like a page of a book that is printed out. You look at it and say, there it says that right there. But who printed that page? Where did it come from? When you begin to question the reality that's created by beliefs, concepts, and conditioning, you begin to become free. Free from the limitations of physical existence. Now, that's a hard one. That really stretches the intellect. What do you mean, free from the conditions? Well, when you begin to see that reality is made up, why not make up your own reality? Now, make it good. Make it unlimited. Make it free. Make it transcendence. Don't keep yourself limited in a physical form of existence that beliefs, concepts, and conditions. Now, the intellect says, well, what will I be then? Well, actually, you'll be whatever you want to be. Now, that's hard. That's hard for the intellect. Oh, sure, you can't be anything other than what you are. When we begin to see that beliefs create a reality, what happens when you change your beliefs? What happens if you can totally let go of beliefs and transcend them? That is where the new human comes in. You become the new human if you can take that step. I know it's difficult. It seems like a fantasy, but take the step. Take the step and see what happens. This is not creating a new belief. I am presenting to you the reality of the consciousness, the ever-changing form and possibility. The consciousness is not stagnant. It is always on the move. It is always creating new possibilities. And if the human being can allow for that creation, we would see a transformed world. We would see people transcending the beliefs and conditioning of the past, becoming free and unlimited in their very existence. I know, it sounds like fantasy, doesn't it? But I experience life as fluid. I experience the consequences of any thought that I hold. And as I release those thoughts, the very physical changes also. My reality, my world, my existence transforms. And I only transform enough to stay in touch with the human conditioning because that is my purpose, to allow, to teach, to open up the human mind to a higher possibility and frequency of existence. That is my job. That is what I've chosen to do because of the experiences I've had. I wish to share that experience with others because I see around me people enslaved by their beliefs and concepts and conditioning. And they've never chose that. Those are handed to you from outside. Your parents say, this is the way it is. You say, oh, okay. When you're really young, you see great truth in life, but it gets tarnished by the beliefs and concepts forced into you by what you see around you. So in a way, we want to be blind to beliefs and concepts and conditioning so they don't affect us. I remain as this in order to serve that, to bring that into focus so that the whole world can become the new humanity, the new being, the new existence, transcendent of the limitations of the past. It's a giant step, I suppose. But giant steps are made up of small steps. So this is about small steps, one step at a time, to open up the realization to the greatest possibility of your human existence.
Shantara says, thanks, Ishvara.
You're welcome.
Todd says, the greatest possibility of our human existence. Amen. Thank you, Ishvara. And Anna and Slava say, we love this inspiring talk. Thank you, Ishvara.
Thank you.
And Johanna says, wonderful. Thank you. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. And thank you for your love and support. And most of all, thank you for being you.